Oh yeah.
So Canelo Alvarez defeated Jamie Munguia in Vegas on Cinco de Mayo. It's his fourth successful defense of this title. And he won 115, 113, 117, 110, and 116, 111. And he scored a knockdown for the third consecutive fight. So he pretty much dominated. Here's the thing. During the post-fight interview, the sportscaster asked him, hey, David Benavidez is the person that everyone across this country and across the world would like to see you fight. You said earlier this week you're willing. What are your thoughts right now? And he said, I don't know. I don't know right now. If the money's right, well, the money he wants is $200 million to fight David Benavidez. Let me put that in perspective for you, Jimmy. He signed a 3-fight deal for $100 million. So I'm going to tell you a little secret, Jimmy, or maybe you already know this, but they probably, if you're not in the boxing world, you don't know this. If a boxer doesn't want to fight another boxer, he prices himself out of the fight.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
is Canelo Alvarez scared to fight David Benavidez like Floyd Mayweather Jr. was scared to fight Manny Pacquiao all those years? I said it. Mayweather was afraid of Pacquiao.
I don't know if, and I don't know if he was scared of Pacquiao. Maybe he was. I don't think so. I think they just waited. He it's debatable. That's Floyd's my guy. Shout out to Money Man. But I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting. I think that in today's, like you say, you could price yourself out, obviously. But I think as a negotiator, as a promoter, you start high and then you negotiate down. And now we know that that's also a tactic. But the way that Alvarez, his style of boxing, I don't think he's afraid of anybody. I think at this point he's trying to do what's best for him and his family and his camp, and he's trying to get that bag. That's what he's on.
See, Jimmy, this is what I wanted the topic to be about. Is I'm so disappointed at the direction boxing has gone in. I grew up in the 80s, and we all know who was fighting in the 80s. In fact, he's fighting again in July.
That's right. Oh, I can't wait.
Iron Mike. I am of the Iron Mike Tyson generation. And Iron Mike Tyson never, ever, ever was afraid of anyone. That dude would fight anyone.
Iron Mike is a different breed. Totally different breed. We can't compare anybody to Iron Mike. As we can see clearly today, he wants to retire Mr. Paul. He's clearly made that statement. Like, I'm going to retire him and send him over with his brother to WWE. That's his goal. I love it.
Here's my thing, Jimmy. I think boxing has been ruined by this. See, when you have, like, even in and I'm not that familiar with UFC. I know that you are more than I am, but I believe there's like a ranking system, right? And they make the number one contender fight the champ, and so there's this ability to kind of really know where you're standing, and it's your turn. It's just like, that's what makes these sports great. Is in basketball, we get to see the top teams fight each other in the playoffs and then play for the championship, right? In boxing, we don't really have a good idea of who the top fighters are. And when we do, then they don't want to fight each other, or they got to negotiate it. And
they work too hard to move up in the rankings. So when you become one of the top 5, 6 boxers, you got to be careful. You got to be strategic.
Look,
and you have to get that bag.
I have been incredibly critical of college football. I think that those knuckleheads took 30 years to have a playoff that could have taken 5 minutes if Brent Chapman and Jimmy King were doing it,
That's
right?
right.
But even with them, they at least are saying they got a people in a room, writers or whoever, a committee going, these are the top teams. But at least they get to play each other and we get some idea of who the best team is. We don't even get that in boxing. That's why boxing's a sham. Canelo
You do
Alvarez
miss out.
should be made to fight the number one contender, David Benitez, or give up his title. He can't run around and hide. He has to fight. I want to see that fight. And I hope David Benitez knocks his teeth out.
I don't know. That's a great fight. We really want to see that fight, but
I don't
we'll
really
see
want
how
him
the
to knock his.
politics. You got to play the game. It's a business. It's not just the sport itself. It's big business, and you got to play. You got to
No,
get it when you can.
Jimmy, I got a little worked up there. I don't actually want David Benitez to knock Canelo Alvarez's teeth out.
Why
I
not?
just want him to fight.
You might want to see some spit or snot or a tooth or two or something,
I
knocked
want to
out.
see a good fight.